Yo, what's up, everyone? We'll get started in a few seconds. So it's not the bash server bad cop, it's literally just Caddy that goes down? That's so funny. Listen, I have to start working on my HTTPS and pure bash. Once we get that going, then I'll be huge. I gotta turn my lights on in here. I just realized there's no lights on, so give me a second. Hashtag disagree, but go on. Random logic. Oh my god. Incredible. There we go. Now we got the backlighting on. Let's go ahead and put the main lights on. Beautiful lighting. Perfect. Someone did bash TLS. I remember looking it up a while back. I think it was like 1.2 or something, right? Was it RSA 1.2? Not that that's not impressive. That's crazy. Yay, actually caught it live on time. Hello, welcome. Yes, you are perfectly timed to watch this live. Just gonna play piano until people file in. Wait, what just happened? Are your windows faux lit? They're real windows, and what you're seeing is the real sun. I just have lights on top of me. I have lights shining from behind. I have two lights directly in front of me. Ring lights, basically. So that one and this one. So I have two lights shining right on me, but yeah. Is this a pre-recorded live stream where you respond in real time? Yes. Yes, that's how I'm able to respond to you. It's pre-recorded by like 100 millisecond latency. You should write some more bash. You should always just write some more bash in general. But is the leaderboard back up now? I assume it is. Did someone redeem first? No, leaderboard is still not up. Look at those guns! Dude. What a comment to receive. That's pretty much my rule. If you wanna objectify me, but it's in a cool way, then I'm totally for it, man. Dude, I'm all for that. That's awesome. Bad cop, is it really that bad? When you told me, I thought you were just like, I don't know, I thought you were playing it up. Yo, Reppox. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thank you for the Prime subscription over on Twitch, dude. Appreciate it. I should start doing incentives for if we hit like certain, I don't know, follower counts or donations or something. Like if we hit a certain count. I should just do a workout stream. I got my weights right over there. Like, just pump some iron on stream. That'd be fun. Yesterday was bad. Today's better, but I'm pretty cooked. Yeah, man. That sucks. How's this? How's this? Ready? That sounds good, right? Oh my god, yeah, just the guitar hero, just the clicking of like the plastic keys. That's incredible. What do you guys say? We jump into some code, huh? I did a little Googling for some stuff, did a little mining off camera. I should just actually do that joke one of these times. There we go. And by that, I mean I actually haven't touched this stuff since the last time. I don't even like touch this computer in between streams. So, oh, the piano distorts sometimes? That is good to know. Thank you for telling me that. Here, let me, oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, let me see, I can see. Okay, cool, I don't see any clipping right now. Like if I hit a lot, we'll probably distort, but... That should have got rid of the clipping, hopefully. AI, bro, just read books. Dude, listen, no one's reading books here, okay? We're not super nerds. But that is how I learned Rust. Start from first principles, yeah. I just sit here and intuit what I think the syntax of Rust should look like. You just write some bash to control the piano so that you could have your own music in the background. Definitely having a button where I'll just like play my own stuff in the background would be pretty cool. All right, let's try to remember what we got going on here. So we have a README going on here. We need CLI support for getting the event stream. That's a fun one. Event stream supporting a backlog of events. That's not as fun. Good logging. Maybe we should just work on that one today. That one seems simple. Because I know Rust has env log that I kind of like. And by I kind of like, I mean I've used it in the past. Or env logger. Yeah. Bro, first principles? Let's get it from Axioms. I think you mean Axum, the HTTP web server that I'm using in Rust. That's so dumb. All right. So we're going to try using this. We got env logger. It's pretty easy. It just gives you a log crate. I think you have to pull an env logger because this will actually just log to standard out and stuff. And then, yeah. Oh, you have log enabled? That's cute. It's a clever way of doing this. Oh, this would have to be a runtime check. Yeah, that makes sense. Because you couldn't just compile these out, because these can be changed at runtime. So, that makes sense. Alright. So let's do this. env logger and log. We need both those crates. And definitely when we break these crates apart into like a workspace, that'll probably be way nicer. I wonder if we need Saturday, the Saturday feature. Maybe not. I have no idea what the logs look like by default. Which OS is this? This is on Mac OS. Envlogger knit question mark? Such a British looking phrase. That's really dumb, dude. That's pretty funny though. All right, so let's do this. So we can use what we want. So like use log. We'll probably do some info. We'll just use whatever we need. And then we need env logger init. And that just gets pulled in here. There we go. I feel like that should be a debug. And then we'll have a fun thing where we figure out what level each one should be. If we read the config, that's debug. I have to stop watching until the Rust course drops. So true. Feel free to start watching again in like 2029 or whatever. Listen, having made the Bash course, I can tell you if you want to make a course that's good and has useful information in it, holy God, does it take a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort. Because I was just like, I'll just make a course, it'll be easy. Dude, I barely got that out in 2025. Oh, and I want to do more courses. I want to do the Rust course, I want to do the C course. Why, my God, they take effort. So we'll see if I make the next course free. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Bash course will always be free no matter what, but we'll see about those future courses. I'm still on the fence about those because, man, being a good educator and putting effort into courses and really trying not to waste people's time and content is very difficult. Like on stream, I can waste all the time I want, but making like content that's worthwhile to consume is actually surprisingly difficult if you try and respect your audience. As a teacher as a teacher struggling to get back to work, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, dude, more power, more praise to the teachers out there, man. They're doing God's work. I feel like Rust does not work well with 4 wide tabs. That's what their default thing is. Now, Rust default style says 100 columns. I use 80, so that could be on me. But yeah, so. No, random logic, I'm 100% serious. Like, yeah, like, dude, teachers are straight up doing God's work. Like, it's educating the next generation. That's what pushes us all forward. Like, at the end, in a lot of ways, it's one of, like, the only jobs that really matters. I think, like, that and, like, you know, Bad Cop and I have talked about this. What, growing food or making art. Like, teaching is up there with those. Yo, what's good, everyone? What's up, Internet Pimp? How you doing? How does someone who doesn't know anything about programming learn this witchcraft? I don't know any witchcraft, but I definitely know how to program. I don't know how to tell you how to get started, unfortunately. I know that's kind of lame, but like I don't know the best way to tell you how to get started. Just really, really like computers and throw your all into it. That's all I can say. All right, so let's swap some things out. I guess we can do a search for print line. Reading cached events. This should be a debug. This should be a debug. This should be a warn, but it's not the end of the world. This should be a debug. This should be an info. Let's make this info as well. I don't mind. Info's kind of heavy, but if we just use it, if we do it once before the loop, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, and this will be an info. You have to buy 4 specific books, and I legally cannot tell you which 4. Terrible. The annoying answer is just start, write hello world in whatever language you have the easiest access to. That is a great answer. That is legitimately a great answer. 100%. That's a great way to get started with programming, is to just start. I know it's kind of redundant, but like, yeah, dude, like don't, oh my God, don't overthink it. A lot of times in life, don't even think it, just do. Like, doing is just going to be so much better. Not always, but in a lot of ways. Do you have your own Vim shortcuts or using defaults? I'm using default options, and not only that, I'm using default options on the Dvorak keyboard layout, so I'm wild, man. All right, what are we doing here? But I will tell you, they were all written by Bob Martin. Bad Cop, you're going to yell at me. I have no idea who Bob Martin is. Broadcast a new event. This is a debug. This is a trace. This isn't important. That's a trace level. Dvorak Vim is non-ergonomic. Bad cover, are you just learning this about me? Absolutely, Dvorak and Vim, 100%, that's what I use. You are a legend in shell programming. Hey, thank you, what a nice compliment. I started from learning Python, which won't teach you witchcraft, but can be a good introduction in thinking loops and automation. Yeah, Python is a great language to get started with. Oh my god, 100%. Yeah, this is fine. This really is is it a trace? Or is it debug? Feels like trace. Cool. It compiles. That's good to know. I had to start with Bash because I found YouTube first and couldn't figure out how to install anything or do anything. Hey, that's awesome. That's legit. Uncle Bob. How did I not realize? Who is Uncle Bob, dude? Am I missing something here? I feel like I'm missing something. Also, sarcasm noted, but I appreciate that. Which Vim theme is this? This might, I have no idea. This is just like default. I haven't changed anything about the, well, I've changed a couple things, but this is just like the default theme. I set the color scheme to default, the background to light, and then I changed the comment colors to brighten them up a little bit because the comments are kind of hard to read when I'm like streaming. Oh, and I changed the search color, so when I search for something, you can kind of see the text through it. That's all I do. Famous book writing programmer. Interesting. He wrote Clean Code, among others. Okay, I have heard of that. I know that book. I've never read it, but gotcha. Just from that alone, I can tell this person's probably opinionated. It's not a bad thing, by the way. Just, I think it just is. This is a trace. When we go to exec a command, I think this would be debug. This would be warn. This would be warn. And this would be debug. We don't do anything with standard out here, do we? Hey, you suck at Rust. Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing, T-Man? Welcome. So we do an expect here. This task will fail. This task will fail, but we don't actually check that it fails. We need to do some testing. To do, panic this test, this task, and see what the main program does. Because nothing is waiting on this task. I think if this task just dies, like through an expect, then we won't actually retry it. which is problematic. We need it to stop if it fails. So, yeah. You don't do diagrams before jumping into programming? I do sometimes. For this one, I thought it'd be fun just to kind of like build it out on stream. But I have like a basic README that just had a list of what I wanted, and I came up with a basic idea for what the commands will look like before I wrote the command. So I kind of started with that, and then I'm working my way backwards. The way I program on stream here is kind of close to how I program in real life, but definitely a lot slower. He says functions should be 4 to 6 lines long. Oh, okay, cool. Such a specific thing. Like, listen, man, dude, I feel like that one tweet where I'm like, listen, man, I don't know. Sometimes it depends, you know? Like, had a great take on opinions in software engineering. I want to adjust. Basically, having overly strong opinions on software engineering isn't the way to go, and a flexible approach is more collaborative and productive. I mean, yes. Even take out software engineering there. Like, listen, being strong and rigid in a lot of places won't get you very far. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow and adapt to things and realize that you may not be wrong. Not all the time. Sometimes it's very important to plant yourself like a tree and be like, no, I am 100% certain of this, when you know you're 100% certain. But for the most part, man, I think people are certain a lot of times when they shouldn't be. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just depends. I don't know how else to say it. We do need to stop using some of the standard library stuff, like the FS calls, and use the Tokyo FS stuff. So I think we got rid of all the print lines. Well, we got rid of all the print lines in the server, so that's good. So if we do a cargo run in the server, will we get nothing by default? Do we have to... What's our default log level? Oh, we should put that in the config, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's do some stuff here. Rust log equals info. There we go. Okay, now we get some info stuff. We can do trace, and we can get a whole bunch of stuff here. Cool. Reading events, read events here, have 2 cached events. This started. We have info here. This looks really good. I like this output. I think this is nice. I want to be able to control this through the config file. Even though we're calling it env logger, might make sense to the config file. I don't know, I'll have to look into it. It's interesting to see how people express themselves in Rust. What was your approach? Try to replicate Bash, or did you let yourself copy a style from a course or book? Oh, I definitely not replicating Bash at all. If anything, it probably came close to how I write C. But the funniest thing is, like, a lot of this diverges from how I write C because they're just 2 totally different languages. But I would say this is probably, this style that I've come up with is just like a mixture of what I've seen, but a lot of C. Like, if someone were to look at this code, they'd probably be like, oh yeah, he doesn't know the Rust idiomatic way of doing a lot of things. These are a lot of very, like, C things, which, fair. Bro reminds me of Alex Hormozy, the Hormozy of Rust development. Did I get that comment so much? It's the hair and the tank top, right? Yeah. We're using nvlogger. We may not want that. Yeah, we may want standard logger, literally std logger. I'm gonna take a look at this. Got 2 FanDuel ads? Bruh, that's a sad state of affairs. Interesting, okay. Dave, are there any programming books you like? Big fan of the KNR-C book. That's one of the best ways to learn C. And I've read The Rust Programming Language. That's how I learned to do Rust. So I guess those 2 are probably like top dogs for me. All right. Maybe env logger is the way to do it. Is there a way just to set the log? Here we go. Hey. There we go. Wow. There's a lot we can do here. Okay. Yes, the KNR one, random logic. What's up, Killaboy? How you doing? Interesting. Okay. I think this is what we want. Yeah, that C book really helped me learn C. I guess we're not pulling that in anywhere. Use env logger, capital env. There we go. So this will create the env logger from our environment by default, or we'll default it to, and then I'm going to pull it out of the config. So this is my plan. Can we change the filter? Here's what I want to do. We need to initialize a logger. We need to read the config, which uses the logger, but also has settings for the logger. And then we're going to set the level based on what the logger is. So we'll set it to trace by default, and then we'll set it to whatever the user wants in their config. Trace by default the same way that a server's fan spit up to 100% before the server actually gets going and can start monitoring like temperature and stuff like that. At least that's my thought process here. Will this compile? Okay. Now I'm just looking through here to see if there's any sort of way to... Like, what does the builder have? How do I change... How do I change the log level? Or do you just run it again? Running it again seems lame, right? There's no like a init logger. Also, I don't understand. Wait, hold on. From env is deprecated, but that's literally what you're using. I feel like there's got to be a better crate for this, right? Dude, there's a crate called simple log. Yeah, but does it use log? I'm gonna look at the log crate. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, envlogger is the one I'm most comfortable with because it's the one I've used, but I don't see a way to like change the level. Is log4rs? No, you're giving me that emote. Oh, yeah, okay, log4rs. Got it. All right, it took me a second. I'm stupid. I'm like locked in here. Simple colored logger for Rust. Do I just... Okay, I shouldn't just have to build my own, right? Just to have something logged to standard out seems so simple. Like, seems so obvious. There really is log 4RS. How hard could it be to write some ANSI escapes? And not even that. I don't even want that. I just want text. Like, I literally just want text to the screen, but I want to be able to, at runtime, change the level of it. Which seems like it'd be such a simple thing to do. Yeah, I might have to use the tracing crate. It seems like people really like that, and I haven't, like, messed with it that much. So I don't know. Kind of want to just write my own. This looks fine. Do it, write your own. I know, it seems ridiculous, doesn't it? How would I even go about writing my own? What would that even look like? Implementing a logger. Here we go. We check if our current level is less than whatever. Now how do we... Logs are installed by calling setLogger function the max on the log level. Oh my god. Also needs to be adjusted via set max log level. Using optimization to improve performance. Okay. Set max level. Okay, hold on. I want to see if this is possible. Set max level. So, like, that's part of the log crate. Can we just do this? Like, we'll set it up as trace. Then we'll read the config. Then we'll do log set max level warn. It might have to be enum. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm writing. Haha. I added this line, log set max level warn right here, just calling set max level on it, but we expect a level filter, and we found a stir. So can we just do this? Log level filter warn. So if this works, we should have trace at first, which shows an info log. I guess we could, let's do this actually. There we go. We'll see if we see foo and bar. I think they said no screen for Vim because I wasn't sharing my terminal at the time when I was typing. I think that's what that message meant. I realized it. Oh my god. I'm so sore. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so we have foo and then we don't have bar. So, here we go. This is exactly why... Listen, T-Man, this is exactly how you debug. So, there we go. This totally works. Now we need to figure out this log level filter thing. Can we put this in our arguments? Someone called that a couple sick Python. Yeah, buddy, we got some sick Pythons here. Oh, man. Wait, do I get this right? You chose your Rust learning path based on what you want to end up with, a real project? No, I learned Rust 6-7 years ago, so... I mean, I'm still learning, but yeah. All right, so we want this to be available... I'm really overcomplicating this. We just want this to be in the arguments thing. Or the config. So can we do this? Max events, exec program, persist. We have to clean all these up. Log level will be a standard log level. Do you think this will work or not? There's no way it pulls in. Oh, standard. Pfft. What was it called? Level filter. Yeah, it doesn't have these types, which is fine. So we just have to add these types, which is not a big deal. We just kind of have to wrap the different types that are allowed here, which is off, error, warn, info, debug, trace. So we'll just have to pull this stuff in. We could also just put it in a string. Let's not even do this. Let's not even do this. You guys ready for this? The first log does not go through the logger. The first log goes through print line. Wait, no, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. I'm being stupid. Guys, I'm overcomplicating things like you would not believe. There we go. Now we have our log here. Default filter or config dot log level. That'll be a string, and we'll let the end logger handle it for us. Cargo format. Let's vim the config. Log level will just be a string. There we go. Let's go ahead and edit the config here. And let's go, let's say it's log level given to env logger. Log level equals trace. There we go. There we go. Now we have trace logging. So let's change this to warn. We'll only get warning. So we should get nothing, actually. Beautiful. We get nothing. If we change this to info, we should get a couple different things. Not a ton, but we should get a couple different things. There we go. Beautiful. If we put foo here, we should get an error, hopefully. Ooh, we don't get an error. That sucks. I can't believe that's silently discarded. I don't like that, but I don't like that. Let's just do this. There we go. That sucks that if you give it a bad string, it just doesn't do anything. That's kind of weird. The compiler was like, nah, dude, that's why I like the Rust compiler, man. I love it. Yeah, I don't love that it's silently being dropped. I think that's kind of lame. What's up, Thor? How you doing? Yeah, the silent dropping thing is not great. Let's go ahead and just add that to our concerns. I keep a document here. Good logging, we have that. But now we have a concern. Log level is silently discarded and logging is disabled if it is unknown. There we go. So at least we have this for now. I don't think this is the worst thing in the world, but just something to keep in mind. Also, this should totally take config as the first variable, but that's fine. This should also have a timeout. Okay. Daddy YSAB. Yeah, what's up, Inkwalk? How you doing? I need a custom bottle of pancake syrup with your channel name on it. It would make me so happy. That is a wild sentence, man. That's awesome. You inspired me to finally add my bash recipe. Hey, that's huge, dude. That's awesome. Congrats. That's sweet. Can you bind the config to an argument on the main when calling/running? Basically, temporarily for this session override, passing values directly. Maybe compare attribute and HTML preparse. I have no idea what you're asking. Can you bind the config to an argument on the main? Basically, temporarily for the session override, passing values directly. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Are you saying, like, can I do this? Like, cargo run foo.toml as the config and have it use that instead of reading config.toml? Because I was actually thinking about adding that as a thing. I would like that. Yo, our most hated subscriber. Thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription on Twitch, dude. What a wild name. That's awesome. Bro, appreciate it. Thank you. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, you like what you see, hit that follow button. We have 1,192 followers on Twitch. Can you believe it? We have almost 100 times more on YouTube. Yeah, almost 100 times more. If you're watching on YouTube, I have 53 concurrent viewers, so that's pretty cool. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're probably already subscribed if you're watching on YouTube. That's dope. So go ahead, and if you're watching on YouTube, just like the stream. Right now we have 11 likes on the stream. Guys, I know we can do better than that, and this is the last time I'll ask because I think it's kind of cringy. For example, log level as an argument loop mounted, so to say, / hardwired to the actual value to allow custom debug config overrides. Argument loop mounted bind. You're using a lot of these words, but I think it's just overcomplicating what you mean. Can you simplify it for me? Like, do you just want to take log level as an argument? Like, do you want me just to be able to run like cargo run like -- log level equals warn, like something like that? Earlier, I was trying to help my friend who is not a programmer, has no intentions to ever be a developer, fixing code that had no indentation and blocks, if without indents, and had variables like shp for this is Susie's HP. But the worst part was my friend who originally programmed was very inconsistent. Why are your friends who have no desire to be developers developing anything? Like, I love people writing code, but like that sounds like an odd choice. All right, what do we got here? We have some good logging now. That is pretty cool. So we crossed that off the list. Probably need to improve the naming, but that's fine as is. I think the next thing we should do would be to do the event stream. So let's do that. What do you think about Rust power in malware development? I don't know. Rust is a cool language. That's all I really know. It's going to be used for some cool things, going to be used for some bad things. I know you're a Bash enjoyer. Just curious how you feel about fish. Never really used it. Can't say much about it because I just don't know it. Gives the same vibes as Granny, hopping in construction equipment, ensuing chaos. Yeah, that's a wild thing to picture. All right, what was I going to do now? We're going to need request. And we're going to need to request SSE. So we're going to have to see if there's a crate to do that. I assume it will. And there is exactly a crate to do that. Updated 26 days ago. This is beautiful. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. So request is the library we're using to do HTTP client requests. And SSE is the format that the events are coming in from the server. So literally, like, this is exactly what we want. We can request a URL, get .events on it, and then we can just loop over the events. Now, how this handles the server crashing, things like that, we'll figure that out. But for now, we can at least get things up and running. So it's called request _ SSE. Let's go ahead and copy paste this whole thing. Let's go ahead and add it to our workspace here. Is it gonna yell at me about the underbar? Yeah, it is. Just silently changes it now. I actually kind of like that. Have you ever used Just? Kind of like a more modern make that's popular in Rust projects. Pretty neat for build stuff. I've never used it, but I know a lot of people that really like it. So I think if I were going to lean towards like just a programmer, just a something, it calls itself something like it's just a blank runner. I forget what it is. I'd probably look into it. It seems like it's really cool. I tried to start a movement where instead of saying hashtag, we say bash tag, but it never caught on. Yeah, I can see that not catching on. What I mean is if there's something like traits, but for arguments, kind of a whitelist that allows defining precedence of allowed arguments mapped to internal flags to gather knowledge on usage. Yes, that exists, but I would just have to duplicate the data. So what I did is I checked to see if I could use the level filter by default. I can do that, but we would just have to duplicate those things. There's nothing wrong with it, but we would just have to create our own enum here. So we'd have to do something like log level, and then we can do trace debug. I probably will end up doing something like this, where you put all of them here, and then you specify the log level here as that type log level, and then I just need to translate it from one into the other. So I could probably derive from on one of the forms. It's fine. It works. It'll get the job done. I'll probably switch to it eventually. Let's just do it right now. Let's just do it right now. This is easy enough. Actually, hold on. I'm curious now. No, yeah. You'd have to use the enum. I don't feel like doing it right now. It would take too much work, and I'm already in client mode. But there is something you could do like that. Is create what Rust calls libraries? Yeah, pretty much. A crate can be more than just a library. It can also be like a binary file in it. But yeah, pretty much. Think of a crate like a library. You'll be good for majority of it. Reason I was asking to prevent keeping the actual calls public by looping through a custom interface, if that makes sense. Like an abstraction layer between what nvlogger has and what I actually expose, or am I misunderstanding that? Now I'm going to pull these from the other page. This should just work. I don't love the while let some okay. That seems a little wild. But I think that's fine. I guess we'll see what happens when there's an error. Oh, we're using the blocking calls. Does this work for blocking? It might not. We might have to pull in Tokyo here. Let's find out, actually. It might not work because of the nature of it being a stream, so we'll have to see. Dave, I know you run Illumos as your hypervisor. Would you consider doing a tutorial on setting up Illumos as a hypervisor? Yes, I am considering it. It's on my to-do list. I don't have anything recorded now, but I have a computer that I want to use specifically for that purpose. So yes, that's on my radar. All right, let's do this. I don't know if this will work without Tokyo. I can't imagine this will work without it. Void setup would be cool too. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know there was that many people who wanted to see that. I think just doing like installing from scratch would be cool though. I agree. Yeah, we need anyhow context. And it's fun because a lot of things can go wrong during that, and I kind of like that for videos. I like when things go wrong. It makes it fun. Yeah, so this is only going to work for the async API. That's unfortunate. It's not the end of the world. But that's fine. Let's just do that. Let's just make this async. Yo, what's up, Chris Baker? How you doing? Yo, Stu Frog, have a good night. All right, what's failing to compile here? Only allowed inside async function. Oh, the function needs to be async. That means this function should also be async, and then call a wait on it. Which means if we're going to do that, we should make this use the non-blocking client. No level, no source, no. Expected future found a different future. Okay, yeah. I see what the problem is. Expected future found a different future. How's there no source level, anything? What kind of event is this? We'll have to figure out what kind of event is given back here. We'll have to parse it as whatever it gives us. Let me catch up on chat. I've been kind of neglecting you guys. Void and Illumos multi-boot in that regard would be interesting. Oh, multi-boot between them would be wild. I don't know if I would recommend anyone even do that. I'm not a multi-boot kind of guy. I like one computer for one job. Hey Dave, any advice to an unemployed backend web dev wanting to switch to systems programming? I'm pretty bored of REST APIs. Hey man, I feel that. You're unemployed right now. Just focus more on the stuff that you know would be in the job. So if you've worked like as a web dev or you've worked like in the web space before, you've probably dealt with backend, like systems programming people, systems engineers, stuff like that. Just focus on the stuff that they were working on. Focus on the kind of skills that you would need for that. So, you know, that might be configuring systems, installing Linux, like learning networking, things like that. I would say focus on that kind of stuff. And if you know any people that are in those spaces, like reach out to them, talk to them, and just see what they would recommend. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said about my question. I didn't realize that the buffer bug hit me. Can you fix that too? I don't even, what was your question? I don't even know what your question was. Yeah, dude, request definitely seems like a typo. I agree with that. You've been thinking about switching to NixOS? Yeah, dude, I know nothing about NixOS. I'm going to be totally real with you. Yeah, I know Random Logic knows NixOS. That's just not my wheelhouse. Could you not make a var to the debug values and create a loop that checks to see if the debug values match, and if it doesn't, log where the name doesn't match? Yes, of course I could do that. Yes, I could easily do that. I just want to make sure it's like clean and simple what I'm adding in. So doing things with enums is probably the right way to do it in Rust as opposed to just doing a simple for loop. But yes, I could absolutely do that. I also missed this live. Neo, you did not miss this live. This live is going on right now. Hope your day has been going well. Listen, my day has not been so bad, so it's been pretty good so far. Hope your day is going well as well. While you're on chat, I was looking at Tokyo and they mentioned work stealing scheduler. What is that? I have no idea what that is specifically, but it sounds like, I mean, Tokyo has its own notion of tasks that may or may not line up with threads on your system. So it's like a green threading model, kind of like Go with like Go routines. So how it manages those tasks is going to be through its scheduler. So Tokyo will have a scheduler, much like your operating system will have one, but it's its own that lives in software that runs in user land. So that's probably just one of its many different algorithms for how it schedules tasks. If I had to guess, I don't actually know, but it sounds like a work stealing scheduler is like a smart scheduler that can like look at a task that might be blocked or have 5 things in queue and steal something from it before a task could even start working on it. So could be something like that. Not really sure. Task stealing kind of sounds like preemption. Yeah, it does a little bit, like just kind of grabbing work, well, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look into see what actual work stealing is. Yes, Lumos. My home lab is a SmartOS cluster. More people should try it. That is so awesome. I love your name, our most hated subscriber. That's amazing. Here, our most hated subscriber. I have some fun bit of lore about SmartOS if you want to hear it. If you're on SmartOS right now, I think there's a command you can run. I think you can run this command. I'm going to type it out for you. Because you use I'm assuming you're not using like Triton Data Center, you're just using SmartOS, so you have like VM to be able to create and reboot and do all that stuff to VMs and stuff. Don't believe Dave, he already said this is a pre-recorded live stream that he responds in real time. I love how responding in real time would completely just betray the idea of it being pre-recorded. I'm running Triton, but it still has VM. Oh, okay, awesome. You remind me of that dude standing beside the half-pipe in California games on the Commodore 64. That's so funny. That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad I resemble like a skateboarder or like a surfer or whatever. Like that's awesome. But yeah, that command right there, that subcommand VM events, and the whole entire subsystem underneath it, which is how SmartOS keeps track of all of its internal events and internal state. It's called VM infod. It's the virtual machine information daemon. You can thank me for that subcommand. And that was actually part of the inspiration for this command I'm working on here. So, yeah. Hey, I just deployed some Rust in prod today. Dude, that's awesome, man. That is so cool to hear. That's amazing. Yo, it's running? Okay, awesome. So that command will show you all the VM events on your system. Now, it'll be kind of boring if nothing's happening, but while you're running VM events, if you go to like Triton and reboot a machine or create a new VM or change a disk quota or do any sort of event, you'll see VM events dump that to the screen in real time. So you can watch your system in real time by running that command. It's kind of like an event server, isn't it? Hey, isn't that what I'm writing here? It's awesome. You don't use relative line numbers of Vim? Nope, I do not. Hey Dave, I passed my Red Hat exam today, armed with lots of knowledge from your bash script tutorial. Thank you so much. Yo, Elmer, congratulations, dude. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you, man. That's awesome. That is amazing to hear. Congrats. That's huge. I'm glad I could play a role in helping you crush that. So that is awesome. That is so awesome to hear. Any news on the GPU pass-through end in Illumos? I don't know the story on that. I know it's a thing that people have wanted for a long time. I have my one buddy that I just talk to directly when I need to ask him about Illumos related news. I don't want to put him on blast on the stream, but no, I don't have any news on that. Oh, I thought it was slowly collecting past data. It'll do something. No. It's showing you live data, live events on your system as they come through. So if you were to like reboot a VM or something, it'll show up in real time, which is a lot like what we're working on here. And yeah, zone state change, running to shutting down. State change, running to shutting down. It's happening. You can thank me for those events. Now, I mean, obviously there are other people that worked on it. It wasn't completely all me. It was a huge project that required getting that done. But yeah, man, the reason that subcommand was me who added that. Also here, our most hated subscriber. This is me and you on stream right now. I'm going to show you something really, really sick. You ready for this? Have you ever seen, also, yeah, you're welcome. The events command is super nice. Have you ever seen the SmartOS changelog? It's this nice little website where you can download the ISO, download the USB, get the password for root on that specific one. It shows you the actual changelog, or you could scroll through the different versions here and see what there is. Well, if you click the About page and you look at the creator, you can see that I was the one who created this website. And if you pull up the source code for it, and we pull up the history of it, and we scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see that the initial commit for it by me was 2014. So 12 years ago, I made the SmartOS changelog website because I wanted that. There was no real good way to get that information. So yeah, dude, I hope you enjoy the lore dump. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was fun. That was super fun. Sick flex with guns out, no less. Exactly, man. I used to run SmartOS. I don't anymore, but I run OmniOS now. But yeah, I ran SmartOS for a long time. I love SmartOS. It's got a special place in my heart. Just curious, do you have a CCNA? No, I do not. I almost went and got one, but I don't love networking that much. I'll try to give a roundup of my project in a bit, but not right now. Hello, friends. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, there's my little flex for you. Yeah. That's crazy. I haven't looked at this code in a long time. Wow. That's crazy to see. I'm curious now. Triton Data Center. Go to SmartOS Live. Go to the history of SmartOS Live. Can you search for these? You know what? Actually, here. I remember this. Source, VM, node modules, VM infod, zpool watcher, zone watcher, VM infod, and client.js. Wow, that's so funny. There you go. There's your boy. 2019. So I was working on SmartOS a long time ago. It feels like just yesterday, but this was a long time ago. So yeah. Wow. Added it in 2018. That was 8 years ago. That's wild. So yeah, when your code is running on SmartOS and it's changing VM state, there are a lot of moving parts underneath the hood that rely on those events. And a lot of that event system was because of me, because we just needed, VMs should be fast. They should be fast. And this is what allowed them to be fast. So that was funny. Yeah, listen, man, I could, if we weren't on stream and you and I were just chatting, I could have a lot of choice words about everything about SmartOS and Triton and all that stuff. That's for a different time. That's for, over some beers or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't happy with a lot of the different things that happened and went down. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, flexing. That's so cool, honestly. Yo, I'm glad I could share a little bit of this stuff with you guys. I think it's fun. And the beautiful thing is that all that SmartOS code and stuff is open source. So that's the beautiful thing. Like, all that code is going to live out there forever and everyone can look at it. I think that's a cool thing. I remember when it was Octal 10 years ago. Get out of here. Did you see the Vibe rewrite in Rust for the SDC tools? I have not seen that. Oh, that was a hard sentence to say. No, I have not seen that. What kind of event are we getting back here? Don't look, it'll make you mad. Yeah, I'm good. I've been out of that world for a long time. But yeah, if you're ever bored, go look at the SmartOS source code. You can look for my name or even the Illumos kernel. Event type, data, last event ID, and retry. I think the only thing we want is the data, and it will be JSON, so we'll have to do some parsing on this, but that's okay. So we have a string here. Let event equal event.data. This is string. So this will be Saturday JSON from stir of this dot context failed to parse JSON data like this, and then we just have to specify what type here, and I think this will work. There we go, look at that. I vibe typed that with my brain. Dave giving us out of the world experiences even before he was a content creator. Yeah, it's so funny because there's a lot of stuff that like I'm weirdly known for on the internet before I was doing this stuff. Like not a ton, but like I get emails from people that are like, Dave, I use your ZFS tools and I had no idea you wrote them. So if you use the ZFS file system, you might be familiar with ZFS prune snapshots or ZFS snapshot all. Those are both just tools I've written. I've had people like, oh my God, I can't believe you're the guy that wrote those. Like, I use those. And I'm like, yeah, man. So, yeah, if you have ZFS and you want a simple command just to snapshot everything you have on your machine with the name foo, it'll just go through and recursively do it all for you. Or I want to snapshot these specific things, or I want to snapshot these automated daily for 7 days and then put it into like a cron job. So I made this so I can just like dump this stuff in cron. And then prune snapshots is a really nice way of saying, hey, go ahead and delete all snapshots older than a week. Go ahead and verbosely delete all snapshots greater than a week, but dry run, or delete them but descending from these trees. Delete them only if they have a prefix of this. Only if they have a suffix of this. Only ones that are older than 2 months. Like, you can do all sorts of things. So I have like cron jobs, just delete them when they get too old. And I've gotten people emailing me like, oh my God, wait, you're the You Suck at Programming guy? I'm like, sup, man? That's me. I don't know if I crave the grisly details of that one. I do. Oh, I blame you. Triton Data Center. Monitor Reef, okay. That calls for a shirt. I vibe coded that with my brain. I kind of like that. I said that like as a joke, but like I kind of like that. Dave, I use ZFS prune snapshots unironically. Then you're using some code that I wrote probably 10 years ago. That's awesome. I 100% use these all the time. Sick that you wrote that. See, there's just people that use these tools and have no idea I wrote them. That's so funny. Here, I'll give you guys one more piece of old lore, but a lot of you guys probably know this. Not everyone, but a lot of you guys probably know this, so I'll just show you this real quick. I know you can't see what I'm typing, don't worry. Have you guys ever seen this video, the piano cover of Temple OS Hymn Risen when Terry Davis passed away? Because, this was by me. I made this 6 years ago, 7 years ago? When did he pass away? 7 or 8 years ago? 7 years ago. Yeah, so have you ever seen this? Like, that's me with short hair. Yeah, so that's me on my music channel that has 10,000 subscribers. So there's a lot of lore out there that people just don't know. No way, I remember my friend sending me this. That's so funny. Next you're gonna say I worked on the HTTPS standard. That is not me. I have not done that. At least 10 hair inches ago. Yeah, I started growing out my hair around 2022, I think. Yeah, short hair Dave is wild. And gambling tips, that's right. This is some little improvisation part I added. You should put the link to the song channel in the YouTube VOD of the stream. I should do that. I'll definitely do that, yeah, because there's a... I still upload to the music channel, not very often. Not very often. I did not write the Doom Eternal soundtrack. I did a cover of one of the songs from 2016 Doom, but not Doom Eternal. And yeah, Terry Davis is legitimately a sad story. Here, I'll show you guys real quick, actually. I don't remember when this one was. This was 3 years ago. Yeah, that's when I was doing music before I was doing programming, guys. I do have a little bit of short hair, guys. Short hair warning, okay? Not as short, but still short hair warning. Wow. I was a lot fatter back then. I've lost like 35, 40 pounds since this video. That's crazy. That's funny, man. Yeah, dude, before I did programming, I did music, man. Some people wondered, they're like, yo, Dave, you look like you play guitar. I'm like, yeah, brother, man. Of course I do. Oh, hell yeah, dude, I'm awesome. Yo! All right, that's all we got there. That's all I'll show you guys for today. But yeah, how fun is that? Oh man, that's so funny to watch now. Especially my hair is so much longer. Oh my god, where's the Meshuggah? I don't know if I've ever recorded a Meshuggah cover, but I love Meshuggah. Oh my god, dude. Sometimes when I pick up the guitar, I just practice that riff. You know, what a, oh my god. You could clip your piano openings to add to the music channel. That is true. I've done a lot of just random musing on here. I like how Random Logic's like helping me cross post to my own channels, like, because I'm clearly not the best YouTuber. That's so funny. Oh man. So Dave, are you single or what? Wouldn't you like to know? What a great question. Yo, what's going on here, dude? Dude, our most hated subscriber is gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the Dave Eddy community on Twitch. Thank you so much. Dude, that's huge, brother. That is huge, man. Thanks for the Dave lore. Yo, of course, dude. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it, dude. It's super nice. Hell yeah, brother. That's awesome. Hype train, let's go. Let's go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh man. All right, let's see what we got going on here. What else did I have to pull up? You can't hear the piano? Then how do you know I'm playing piano? Oh, you know what? I think the desktop audio is way quieter on this. Yeah, it's minus 1.1 over here. There we go. Do I have a you know what? I might have a compressor on. Thank you, Random Logic. I might have a compressor on this scene and not on the other scene. I'll have to mess with that. That's better? Okay, awesome. I probably adjusted this when I was on a Discord call with Bad Cop a while ago when we were streaming, so I probably just never changed it. That is good to know. So what is my most hated subscriber? What have you sent me? You sent me Monitor Reef. Is this... Oh, I see there's a pull request. No, I'm not looking at this on stream. That can just exist how it is. That can just exist how it is. I'm not touching that on stream. Let's focus on coding here. Let's focus on coding here. Live piano interludes. No other programming channel has this. Hey man, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, because when I get bored of programming, or when I'm like, oh, I don't know, programming's lame. Gotta hit him with a lick. Alright. I'm not gonna stream for too much longer, so let's bring out some more code here. We have the server running, it compiles, so we should be able to run the client, which I've called event, so that's not confusing at all. And then we have a tail command here. Oh, expecting text/event stream found application/JSON. Oh, who's checking headers, brother? Why? Ew, okay. Where is that header coming from? We have an event stream here. I guess that's technically what it is. Wait, so what? Is it the accept header? Is it like this? Is this how you write an accept header? I don't actually know. Either way, that seems interesting. Expecting event stream, it found application/j. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm stupid. We're grabbing /events here. We need event stream. I'm dumb. Ignore me, guys. So now this should be working. So here we go. The server's sitting over here and it's doing nothing. It's kind of cute. The client is running over here waiting for events. Now we have to go create a new event, and that will cause something. You look like one popcorn. Brother, what does that mean? Oh, I just ran the server again. We need to run the... We need to run this. And this will emit a new event. So we can emit, ready? We're gonna emit something here. Hello world. Cool, emitted event, and then it gave us some information about the event. We should probably clean this up. Maybe this should just spit the JSON back of what it emitted, or maybe it should just spit nothing back. I have no idea. But look at this. This successfully got it live on the CLI, and the server was able to get it and run the command on our behalf. So this is huge. This is huge. I know this might be a little bit confusing, but we have the CLI running here, tailing new events, and we have this submitting events. So if we go over here, we can see that event came through 3 different times. That's awesome. We have to format the events, of course, but we'll come up with different ways of doing that. CLI support, getting events, event stream supporting backlog of events. Get rid of that. We are done to do better format events for the CLI. Color. I kind of want a format flag. Yo, appreciate it, T-Man. Have a good night. Thank you, Neo. I think it's beautiful as well. I do want to pull the last X events here. So here's what I actually want. This is going to sound crazy. When someone hooks into the event server, I want them to get all the old events too, before we hook into the new ones. Is there a race condition here? There might be. There could be a race condition. When we show all the old events, basically I want to dump the old events first and then hook into the new ones. But the order in which we get the events and hook into the new ones could result in a race condition. We have a UUID, so we can avoid that by checking for it, but that's just extra work we'll have to do. Not a big deal, but just something we have to do. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll keep track. Well, I'm not going to do this tonight, but we'll keep track of all the UUIDs that we had queued up because we have the list of them here. And then when we get a new thing from the stream here, we'll check. Hey, have we already sent this event? If we have, then try again and keep everything the same. If we haven't, clear our old cache. Don't try and check it again and then do it. So there's easy ways we can do this. But let's go ahead and make sure this just works. We still have a lot of unwraps in there, which is not great. Oh, we haven't actually sent that event back, have we? I see the problem. We've just created the event here, but we haven't actually written it anywhere. This is gonna be annoying. This isn't going to work as written. We have to dump these through the stream and then wrap the broadcast stream. We have to do some work here. We're going to need multiple streams. It's going to get a little bit confusing here. All right. Just put it to do that. It just doesn't work. We'll just put it to do literally called make this work. So if we run the server here, and then we go over here and we run the CLI, we post a new event, everything works. If we kill the server, the CLI dies immediately. Okay, there's no retry logic there. Kind of lame, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm thinking there's a lot of stuff that has to happen here, but we've made some good progress. We got some good logging and stuff. All right. I think we made some good progress here. Let's go ahead, cargo format. Cargo Clippy. Make sure it all looks good. Beautiful. Okay. And then let's go ahead and commit day 9. Beautiful. Okay. Day 9 has been committed. It's pushed. We've made some good progress. I think I'm going to call the stream here. Yeah. This is a pretty good stream. So, yeah, I'm going to call it here. So, thank you everyone for watching. What was that? You can change the commit? Of course you can. If you want to change your last commit, you absolutely can. You can change any commit, really. I didn't like the way day 9's thing worked, so I just did git commit -- amend. AMEND. Just do that. So then it pulls this back up so I could change this to, like, you know, whatever I want. I won't change that. I'm going to do quit with the exclamation mark. So will that actually change it? It won't. Good. Yeah. So you can just do -- amend, and this will amend the last one. I think you can do, like, you might be able to do something. There might be some syntax for being able to do that. Or if I, like, want to change this commit, I might be able to do that. There's probably some way. I don't know what it is. I just use git commit -- amend. So I absolutely love -- amend. This is so good for if you make a typo. So yeah, if you've learned nothing else from the stream, learn that. Oh man. So yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much, our most hated subscriber, for the 10 gifted, dude. That was awesome, man. What a baller move. That's sweet. And yeah. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I'll stream again eventually, and we'll keep cracking on and making progress on this program. So it'll be fun. So yep, that's it. That's all I got. Later, nerds. Yeah. All right. See you everyone. Take care. Have a good night. See you guys.